So recovery, that is another thing to take into consideration when you're making the decision about this. Do you have the capability? Do you have the facilities for the recovery? Because the recovery process is going to be 4 months long. So when Pearl first came home, we had to have a stall for her, as mentioned previous, because she was not allowed to walk. She was on complete stall rest for the first, I believe it was 10 days. She was on complete stall rest. So after those 10 days were up, then she moved on to, she was able to walk just up and down our barn alleyway, which is not huge. She was allowed to have these like 5-minute walks. And being it was so icy outside, we walked up and down the barn alleyway. So the recovery is almost just as emotional as the actual whole process, because you have to really keep an eye on how your horse is doing. And the other thing is you really have to watch their mental state. So we had noticed, and we always kept another horse in with Pearl because as I said previous, they're not used to being stalled inside, first of all, and then alone. So we always kept another horse in there with her. But with her being cooped up for, I believe it was a whole month, before we took her outside, we really started to notice her mental state. She needed to go outside. So then we checked the footing in front of our barn, actually out the back, sorry, and we really chopped that up and got some ice out there and some ice melt so that she could go outside. So then what we did is we built a little stall or pen for her outside. We are fortunate because we have our traveling panels that we use for going mounted shooting. So we just set her up outside, and then we were able to bring the other horses into the larger pen for her to feel like she was a part of that. When you're doing this, just be really careful, because I know when we first put her out there, she got very excitable and very she wanted to go play with her friends, essentially. So that's one thing to keep into consideration, is when you let them go out into, even if it is a smaller pen for them, just be aware that they're going to be pretty excited to be, first of all, outside and then close to their friends. So and it's all about making sure those stitches, everything, nothing gets pulled inside of there. So that was kind of step one to recovery. And then the next video I'll talk about the first time letting her go and her rolling.